Hi, I'm Leslie Koh. Welcome to the second part of our Daily Bread's parenting video series. Now, you might have seen the video series we had earlier with Lim Chien Chong and Stephanie Chung. We had invited you to send in questions for them, and today they're here to give their answers. We've got some interesting questions from you, so let's go straight into them. Chien Chong, in your video, you explored Ephesians 6, verse 4, which tells parents not to provoke their children to anger. One parent has this question: my child seems to be always angry. What can I do? Chien Chong, what do you think?
Anger is a strong feeling of displeasure when a person feels or thinks that something is not right. So, in a certain setting, it is not a bad thing. In fact, in Romans chapter 1 tells us that God is angry, but he's angry with the sin and the evil of man. But God is not just angry. In the same letter that Paul writes to the Romans, we are told that God is also patient and God is loving in helping man solve this problem of sin by sending Jesus to die for our sins, even though we were undeserving, in Romans chapter 5, verses 8 and 10. So I do thank God that my children have a strong response when they think that something is wrong. But I need to help them calibrate a few things. First is their standards of right and wrong, that these standards should be based on God's standards. Second, the way they express their displeasure, that it should be based on God's word. And that thirdly, that there is room for patience and love rather than quick-temperedness based on God's character. So you see, I think Paul has in mind in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26, that in our anger, that we do not sin. So I have to constantly remind myself and my children that first, we have to make sure that we don't set double standards of right and wrong. Second, we have to be careful that when we show displeasure over what is wrong, the way of showing the displeasure is not wrong in itself. And thirdly, there is great importance in having love, in having patience, so that we don't misjudge a person or situation too quickly. So the important thing really is to channel all this energy towards righting the wrong in the best possible way, rather than to use this energy to vent, to pout, to retort, or to retaliate.
Thanks, Chien Chong. That's very insightful. Stephanie, how about you? What do you think a parent should do if a child seems to be always angry?
Well, I think when he's not angry, have a conversation with him. Help him to identify perhaps the triggers that caused him to be angry, and then maybe to suggest other ways where he can express himself. One of the things we used to tell the kids in the group that we were handling was to first stop. When you're angry, stop, count to 10, and then take a few deep breaths. If you're still angry, go and wash your face. The whole idea is to just bring down his anger, because we had this kid that whenever he's angry, he will clench his fist, and his next thing is he's going to punch somebody. So we needed to bring down his anger immediately. And that was by just kind of taking a pause, like pressing a pause button. Help him to think about what made him angry, what exactly made him angry, and how he can tell the other person what made him angry. And this time of pause allows him to think about what made him angry and how to express it in a better way than hitting somebody. Now, learning how to express his anger is important. Learning, because you don't want him to bottle it all up, but he has to express it well, so that at the end of the day, whatever caused him to be upset is brought forward. And after perhaps an episode of anger, you may want to sit down with him and debrief with him what went wrong, what could he handle better, and do this each time until he gets the good hang of it by himself.